why you didn't find this video by accident. Pause for a moment and really consider this. Out of billions of videos on this platform, out of infinite distractions competing for your attention, you are here right now watching these words unfold in front of you. That is not an accident. It is not random. It is not coincidence. It is a signal, a reflection, a mirror of something deep inside you that has already been calling for alignment. The universe has ways of placing the right messages in front of the right people at the exact right moment. And if you are here, it means that process is already happening for you. Think of all the choices and subtle turns that led to this moment. You clicked a recommendation. You followed an impulse. You searched for something without even knowing exactly what you were seeking. But underneath those surface actions was resonance, a deeper frequency pulling you here. The title caught your eye because part of you recognized it as relevant. The thumbnail spoke to you because part of you already knew this message was waiting. This is how the field works. Life organizes itself not randomly, but meaningfully, especially when you are ready to take the next step in your journey. The truth is, not everyone finds this kind of message. Most people remain absorbed in the noise, in the surface-level distractions, in endless repetition of the same patterns. But when you are at the edge of growth, when your inner state begins to shift, you start noticing things others overlook. Videos like this appear at the exact moment you are ready to hear them. Books fall into your lap. Conversations happen that echo your thoughts. This is synchronicity in action, and the fact that you are here is proof that the synchronicities are already active in your life. It may feel like a small thing, clicking a video, letting it play, but pay closer attention. Every breakthrough begins with a moment just like this. What separates those who step into alignment from those who remain in autopilot is not luck, it is recognition. Most people ignore the signals. They dismiss synchronicities as coincidence. They downplay the signs that are meant to guide them. But you are different because you paused here. You allowed this message into your awareness. That alone sets you apart from the majority. This is not about ego or superiority. It is about resonance. You found this video because you are vibrating on a frequency that allows it. That means you are already in the process of awakening to deeper truths about yourself and about reality. It means you are beginning to align with a version of yourself that no longer accepts randomness as an explanation for life. You are beginning to sense that meaning is everywhere, that the universe speaks in patterns, and that you are part of that conversation. What is synchronicity if not the meeting point of inner state and outer reality? When your thoughts, emotions, and intentions align with the field, external events respond. This is why you feel goosebumps when a song lyric matches the question in your mind. This is why you feel awe when the exact number sequence appears on the clock just as you were thinking of it. And this is why you feel drawn here now. You are resonating with this message, and that resonance is the signal that you are ready for the next stage of your evolution. If you allow yourself to really absorb this, you will realize how powerful it is. The mind wants to say it is just an algorithm, just a recommendation. But why this recommendation? Why this moment? Why this alignment? You could have been offered anything, yet this is what appeared. That is the universe showing you that it responds to your state. You asked for clarity, consciously or unconsciously, and this is one of the ways the field delivers it. This recognition changes how you move through life. When you begin to see that nothing is random, you start paying attention differently. You begin to look at events not as accidents, but as messages. You begin to notice patterns where before you saw none. And the more you notice, the more they appear, because awareness amplifies the dialogue. The universe speaks constantly, but it is only when you listen that the language becomes clear. Right now, you are at the threshold of a new way of living. You are shifting from being a passive participant in life to becoming a conscious co-creator. You are learning that the signals around you are not just curiosities to entertain you, but tools to guide you. This video is one of those signals. It is not just content to consume, it is part of the conversation between you and the field. The universe chooses moments like this to remind you that you are not wandering blindly. You are being guided, nudged, encouraged to step forward. If you think back, you may realize that you have been receiving signals like this for a long time. Times when the right words appeared exactly when you needed them. Times when an opportunity came at the perfect moment. Times when a stranger said something that shifted your perspective. Perhaps you dismissed them before, but now you see the thread. This video is not an isolated event. It is part of a larger pattern of synchronicity weaving through your life, drawing you closer to who you truly are. The power of realizing this is immense. Once you know that the universe speaks in synchronicities, you can no longer see life as meaningless. You begin to understand that everything is connected, that your inner state shapes your outer experience, that your choices and your readiness matter. The fact that you are here proves that you are ready to see the deeper layers of reality. It proves that you are ready to step into a higher timeline, one where nothing is dismissed as random and everything is alive with meaning. The question now is, will you listen? Will you treat this as another coincidence, or will you recognize it as confirmation? The universe cannot force you to awaken. It can only send the signals. The choice is always yours. But when you feel the resonance, when you sense the alignment, when you know deep down that you are here for a reason, that is your invitation to step forward. This is why the universe chooses you. Because you are ready to notice. You are ready to listen. You are ready to allow synchronicity to guide you into a reality that is richer, deeper, and more aligned than anything you have experienced before. You found this video not by accident, but by resonance. And that resonance is the proof that you are entering a new chapter of your life. As we continue, we will explore why only some people find themselves in moments like this, why readiness is everything, and how to align your frequency so that synchronicities multiply. But for now, hold on to this realization. You are here for a reason. The universe chose this moment to reach you. Nothing about this is random. Nothing about this is meaningless. You are exactly where you need to be, and everything from this point forward can unfold in alignment if you choose to embrace it. The hidden frequency only certain people tune into. Not everyone sees the signs. Not everyone experiences synchronicity in the same way. This is one of the mysteries of consciousness that sets you apart from the majority of people who move through life unaware. The universe is constantly broadcasting, sending signals through numbers, timing, patterns, and encounters. But only those tuned to the right frequency pick them up. You found this video not by accident, but because something within you has already shifted to the frequency where the message could reach you. Think of life like a vast field of radio signals. Billions of frequencies are vibrating all around us, yet your radio only plays the station you are tuned into. If you are tuned to static, that is all you hear. If you are tuned to distraction, that is all you experience. But the moment you shift the dial, an entirely different reality becomes audible. Synchronicity works in the same way. It is always present, but only the aligned can receive it. The fact that you are hearing this now proves that you have turned the dial. You are tuned in. Readiness is not about luck. It is about resonance. When you reach a point in life where you are no longer satisfied with autopilot, when you start questioning who you are and what your reality means, the frequency changes. The static clears. The signals grow louder. This readiness does not happen randomly. It comes when your inner state calls for more, when your soul is tired of sleepwalking and begins to awaken. That is when the universe sends synchronicity as confirmation, saying, "Yes, I hear you. Yes, you are ready." This is why so many people never see the signals. They are not tuned yet. Their inner frequency is still buried under fear, distraction, or conditioning. They live by default rather than by design, so when synchronicities appear, they dismiss them as coincidence. The signals are wasted because the receiver is not active. But once the receiver activates, once awareness begins to expand, the same signals that went unnoticed before suddenly light up with meaning. What changed was not the universe, but you. This is the difference between those who stumble upon a video like this and scroll past, and those who stop and watch. One is not ready, the other is. Readiness is not about intelligence, education, or even belief. It is about vibration. It is about whether your inner state has reached the point where you can perceive the deeper language of reality. You did not force this. It emerged naturally as part of your evolution. You have reached the point where the field can communicate with you directly. When you realize this, it changes how you see yourself. You stop wondering whether you are chosen or special in a way that excludes others. Instead, you realize that everyone is chosen, but not everyone chooses to awaken. Everyone has the potential to see the signals, but only those who are ready recognize them. You are not here because the universe favors you over others. You are here because you have reached the stage where you can recognize the favor that has always been present. This recognition is powerful because it reframes synchronicity from being random magic into being feedback. The signals are not accidents. They are reflections of your readiness. When you are aligned, synchronicities appear. When you are distracted, they fade. The signals are the universe's way of showing you where you are in your evolution. They are mile markers on the journey. Seeing this video now is one of those markers, proof that you are further along than you may have realized. It also means that you have a responsibility. Once you notice the signals, you cannot unsee them. Once you understand that nothing is random, you can no longer excuse yourself by pretending life has no meaning. Awareness carries weight. You are now in a dialogue with the universe, and the more you listen, the more it will respond. This is why some people feel overwhelmed when synchronicities flood their life. They asked for awakening, and the universe answered. The question is whether they will honor that answer or ignore it. The truth is that you have always been receiving signals. Think back to times in your life when you felt déjà vu, when you met someone who instantly felt familiar, when a phrase or image kept reappearing until you paid attention. Those were synchronicities. At the time, you may not have had the awareness to recognize them, but they were still guiding you. The difference now is that your awareness has expanded to the point where you cannot miss them anymore. The universe is speaking louder because you are finally listening. Another important thing to understand is that synchronicity does not reward ego. It does not appear just to make you feel special or superior. If that is the energy you project, the signals distort. Synchronicity responds to sincerity, to humility, to readiness for growth. It appears to guide you, not to inflate your pride. The more open you are, the clearer the signals become. The more you try to own or control them, the more they fade. This ensures that only those truly ready to evolve can walk this path consistently. You found this message not because you demanded it, but because you allowed it. Somewhere in you, a question was asked. Somewhere in you, a shift occurred. And in response, this alignment appeared. That is how synchronicity works. It is not forced. It is not pushed. It flows into your awareness when the time is right. The universe waits until you are open enough to receive. You are here now because you have reached that point. You are no longer resistant to growth. You are no longer clinging to old patterns. You are open. This openness is everything. It is the key that unlocks the language of synchronicity. When you are closed, life feels random. When you are open, life feels meaningful. When you are asleep, the signals go unnoticed. When you awaken, they flood your experience. Nothing changed in the external world except your perception, yet that single shift makes reality itself feel transformed. Awareness is not passive, it is transformative. Simply by noticing, you change the field. The idea that only certain people receive these signals is not meant to exclude anyone. It is meant to reveal that awakening is a choice. The universe offers the invitation constantly, but only those willing to listen accept it. You have accepted. That is why you are here. The message found you because you are already living at a higher frequency than before. You may not fully realize it yet, but your resonance is already pulling new opportunities, new alignments, new possibilities into your life. This is one of them. So what does it mean that you are among those who notice? It means that you are stepping into a deeper partnership with the universe. It means that your readiness has activated the dialogue. It means that you are no longer living by default but by design. The path from here will be filled with synchronicities, each one guiding you closer to the reality you are capable of creating. But it begins with this recognition. You did not find this by accident. You found it because you are ready. How your energy broadcast shapes reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you carry is not confined to your mind. It radiates outward as energy, broadcasting into the field around you. Just as a tuning fork vibrates and makes another tuning fork resonate across the room, your inner state resonates with the universe itself. This is why synchronicity is not random. It is resonance. When your inner frequency matches certain external patterns, reality reflects them back to you with precision. Imagine standing near a piano. If you strike the note A on a tuning fork, the A string inside the piano will begin to vibrate even though you never touched it. That is resonance. The same phenomenon happens in consciousness. If you hold the frequency of gratitude, the universe begins to vibrate with experiences that match gratitude. If you carry fear, the field reflects that as well. The universe is not punishing or rewarding you. It is simply responding, echoing back the vibration you broadcast. This is why your inner state is so important. Many people try to change their lives only by rearranging the external. They change jobs, relationships, locations, but carry the same beliefs and emotions wherever they go. As a result, the same problems repeat. The external changes, but the frequency remains the same, so the field continues to mirror it. True transformation happens when you shift your vibration. When the broadcast changes, reality reorganizes. Synchronicity is the first sign that this reorganization has begun. Think about times when you were aligned. You felt calm, inspired, alive. During those moments, signs seemed to appear effortlessly. Opportunities opened, people called at the perfect time, repeating numbers appeared everywhere. That was not chance. That was the reflection of your coherent frequency. The field was echoing your alignment. Now think of times when you were anxious, angry, or lost. In those states, synchronicity seemed absent, or worse, you attracted situations that confirmed your fears. Again, this was not punishment. It was feedback. The universe was showing you your broadcast. This is why synchronicity is such a powerful teacher. It reveals your state with clarity. You do not have to guess what you are broadcasting. Reality will show you. If signs of alignment appear, you know you are coherent. If confusion or chaos mirrors back, you know your frequency is scattered. Either way, the field is honest. It does not lie. It does not flatter. It simply reflects. What most people do not realize is that frequency is not just an abstract idea. It is measurable in the body. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field that can be detected several feet away. Your brain produces frequencies that can be recorded. Your emotions literally alter your physiology, and that physiology radiates outward. This means your inner state is not hidden. It is a signal. The universe, being a field of energy and information, responds to that signal in real time. Synchronicity emerges when your signal becomes coherent. Coherence means that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned. When you think one thing, feel another, and do something else, your frequency is scattered. The field mirrors back confusion. But when your thoughts, emotions, and actions harmonize, the broadcast is strong. The universe responds with clarity, and synchronicities multiply. This is why practices like meditation, gratitude, and visualization are so powerful. They bring your frequency into coherence. Resonance also explains why like attracts like. If you carry the frequency of lack, you resonate with experiences that confirm lack. If you carry the frequency of abundance, you resonate with experiences that confirm abundance. You may not always like this reflection, but it is precise. It is not based on what you want superficially, but on what you truly broadcast. The universe listens not to your words, but to your vibration. Once you understand this, you realize that nothing is random. The people who appear in your life, the opportunities that come, the numbers that repeat, the songs that play, all of it is part of the resonance you are broadcasting. Life is not happening to you, it is happening with you. It is a mirror of your inner state. The more you align your frequency, the more beautiful and meaningful the mirror becomes. This is also why different people live in what seems like different worlds, even while sharing the same planet. One person experiences constant struggle, another experiences constant opportunity. The external environment may be similar, but their frequencies are not. Each is living in the reflection of their own broadcast. Synchronicity reveals this by showing you patterns others cannot see. What is invisible to them is obvious to you, because your frequency has tuned you to a different layer of reality. You are not limited to one frequency. Every time you grow, you shift. Every time you embody a new belief, you retune your signal. Each time you expand, synchronicities appear to confirm that expansion. The universe does not freeze you in place. It responds dynamically to every change you make within. This means that your power is immense. At any moment, you can shift your state, retune your frequency, and alter the reflection. This understanding is liberating because it removes the illusion of randomness. You no longer need to feel like a victim of chance. You can begin to see yourself as an active participant in the field of resonance. Synchronicity becomes your feedback system, showing you in real time whether you are aligned or scattered. It is not something to chase, but something to notice. Each signal is a message from the universe saying, this is what you are broadcasting, this is what you are aligned with. When you approach life this way, even so-called setbacks become meaningful. If something does not work out, it is not random failure, but feedback. It means your frequency was not aligned with that path. It means the field is redirecting you. If you are willing to listen, every disappointment becomes guidance. Every delay becomes timing. Every obstacle becomes an invitation to shift your broadcast. This is the language of the universe, and synchronicity is how it speaks. You are not here by accident because your frequency has already shifted to receive this. Think about that. Somewhere in your inner world, you broadcasted readiness. You broadcasted openness. You broadcasted a desire to awaken. And the universe responded by placing this message in front of you. That is the proof of resonance. It is not magic. It is alignment. It is not coincidence. It is coherence. The more you align with this awareness, the more fluent you become in the language of synchronicity. You begin to sense the subtle shifts in your broadcast. You notice when your energy dips and how quickly the signals fade. You notice when your energy rises and how suddenly synchronicities multiply. You begin to live with sensitivity, adjusting your state not from fear but from mastery. You learn to tune yourself as carefully as a musician tunes an instrument, knowing that the music of your life depends on your frequency. And here is the deeper truth. The universe is not separate from you. It is not an external machine responding to a signal you send. You and the universe are part of the same field. When you broadcast, the field is broadcasting with you. When you align, the universe aligns. Synchronicity is not communication between two separate entities, but a recognition of oneness. You are not speaking to the universe as an outsider. You are hearing yourself through the universe's echo. When this realization fully sinks in, everything changes. You stop seeing signs as rare miracles and begin seeing them as natural. You stop chasing synchronicity and begin living in synchronicity. You stop doubting whether the universe cares and begin realizing that you are the universe in human form, experiencing itself through signals, reflections, and patterns. This is the deepest layer of resonance, the awareness that nothing is outside of you. So when you notice the signals, when you experience the resonance, when you find yourself here hearing these words, understand what it means. It means your frequency has shifted. It means you are broadcasting readiness. It means the universe is reflecting back your own evolution. You did not stumble into this. You aligned with it. You broadcasted this moment into existence, and now here it is. That is synchronicity, and that is the secret language you are learning to hear. Why chaos strikes before breakthrough. If you pay close attention to the moments in life right before a major transformation, you will notice a pattern. Things rarely become easier before you rise to a new level. More often than not, they become harder. Resistance intensifies. Doubts grow louder. Old patterns resurface. Reality feels unstable, almost as though it is working against you. But beneath that turbulence, something profound is taking place. The chaos you experience is not random. It is the reorganization of your reality preparing you for breakthrough, and synchronicity is the compass that guides you through it. Think about a forest fire. To the eye, it looks like destruction. Flames consume trees, smoke clouds the sky, and what once was stable disappears. But beneath the ashes, seeds awaken that could never sprout before. New growth emerges, richer and stronger. The fire was not only destruction, it was renewal. In the same way, when your old identity begins to dissolve, it feels chaotic. Relationships shift, opportunities close, circumstances shake. Yet this is the clearing that allows the new self to emerge. Synchronicities appear during this time like green shoots in the ashes, reminding you that the chaos has purpose. This is why resistance feels strongest just before breakthrough. Your nervous system has been wired to the chemistry of your old identity. It is comfortable in familiar patterns, even when those patterns no longer serve you. When you step into something new, the old wiring resists. Fear rises not because you are failing, but because you are expanding. Doubt grows not because you are off track, but because you are moving beyond what is familiar. The storm is not proof you should stop. It is proof you are about to cross a threshold. Synchronicities often cluster during these storms. Just when you feel ready to give up, a sign appears. Just when you question everything, a number sequence repeats. Just when you feel lost, the right words arrive. These signals are not trivial. They are lifelines. They are reminders that you are not lost in chaos but being guided through it. The universe leans closer during these moments, offering you encouragement so you can keep walking even when the ground feels unstable. The danger is misinterpretation. Many people see the chaos and assume it means they are failing. They let the resistance convince them to retreat. They interpret the turbulence as a stop sign rather than as confirmation that they are moving. But if you can hold steady and notice the synchronicities, you will see the truth. The chaos is not the end. It is the passage. The storm is not punishment. It is the threshold. And the signals are there to help you navigate. Consider the process of building muscle. You do not grow stronger by lifting what is easy. You grow when you push into resistance, when the fibers tear and repair into something more powerful. The discomfort is not failure but growth. In the same way, when your reality reorganizes, it may feel as though everything is breaking. But in truth, everything is strengthening. Synchronicity reminds you of this by placing markers on the path, showing you that even in turbulence you are aligned. At times, the chaos will strip away things you thought you needed. A job ends, a relationship dissolves, an opportunity fades. On the surface, this feels like loss. But synchronicity shows you that these endings are not accidents. They are the clearing of what no longer matches your frequency. The new self cannot thrive in the old soil. What falls away is not being taken from you but released for you. And the signals that appear in those moments confirm that you are not being abandoned, you are being prepared. This is why surrender is so powerful during turbulence. The mind wants control. It wants to predict and manage every outcome. But the universe does not operate on linear logic. It speaks in resonance, timing, and alignment. To navigate the storm, you must learn to trust the signals rather than force the path. Synchronicity becomes your compass, guiding you step by step. You may not see the full map, but you see enough to keep moving. The rest is trust. Notice how synchronicities often appear at the edge of your endurance. When you are questioning whether to keep going, that is when the signs multiply. This is not coincidence. The universe knows that the threshold is near, and it amplifies the signal so you do not turn back. If you hold steady in those moments, you will pass through the turbulence into a new state of being. And once you cross that threshold, the resistance dissolves, replaced by clarity and flow. The pattern is clear. Resistance grows before expansion, chaos rises before order. Doubt peaks before confidence, and synchronicity appears to guide you through the in-between. This is not random. It is design. The universe knows that transformation requires the dissolving of the old, and it provides signals so you do not lose your way in the fire. When you see this clearly, you begin to embrace the turbulence rather than fear it. You recognize that the storm is part of the passage. You stop asking why me and start asking what is this teaching me. You stop seeing chaos as punishment and begin to see it as preparation. And when you notice the synchronicities within it, you feel less alone. You realize that even in the darkest moments, the universe is speaking. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of resisting resistance, you learn to lean into it. Instead of retreating at the first sign of chaos, you look for the signals hidden within it. Instead of fearing the turbulence, you begin to trust it as proof that breakthrough is near. This trust does not make the storm easy, but it makes it purposeful. And purpose gives you the strength to keep walking. Remember, you did not find this message by accident. If you are hearing these words now, it may be because you are in your own turbulence. Things may feel uncertain, unstable, or overwhelming. But the fact that you are here proves that the universe is guiding you through it. This is one of the synchronicities placed in your path to remind you that the chaos has meaning. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through. So hold steady. Do not let the storm convince you that you are lost. The resistance you feel is the friction of transformation. The chaos you see is the reorganization of reality. The synchronicities appearing around you are the universe's way of saying keep going. The threshold is near. The breakthrough is waiting. And you did not arrive here by accident. You were guided here so you would not forget this truth. Serenity and stillness unlock the clearest signs. The more you walk this path, the more you notice a simple truth. Synchronicity does not appear when you chase it. It does not emerge when you demand it or grasp at it. It flows in when you are calm, open, and steady. The language of the universe is subtle, and it speaks most clearly into still waters. The noisier your mind, the harder it is to hear. The quieter your energy, the louder the signals become. Think of a lake at night. If the surface is restless, rippled by wind and storm, you cannot see the stars reflected above. But when the surface grows still, the entire sky mirrors in perfect clarity. Your consciousness works the same way. If you are filled with noise, with doubt, with desperation, the reflection of the universe becomes distorted. But if you rest in serenity, the reflection becomes unmistakable. Synchronicity is not absent in chaos, but it is clearest in stillness. This is why so many signs appear during moments of calm. You are walking without distraction, and a number sequence catches your eye. You are sitting quietly, and the right words arrive at the perfect time. You are breathing deeply, and the message becomes undeniable. The signals were always present, but serenity made you receptive enough to notice them. You did not create synchronicity in that moment, you allowed it. Surrender is the state that makes this possible. Surrender does not mean giving up your dreams or abandoning action. It means letting go of the need to control every outcome. It means trusting the timing, trusting the flow, trusting that the universe knows the path better than your limited mind. When you surrender, you are not passive, you are receptive. You align yourself with the intelligence of the field, and in that alignment, synchronicities appear as confirmation. There is power in this kind of trust. Many people live in constant resistance, trying to force life into their preferred shape. They cling, they push, they demand. And because they are vibrating lack and desperation, the field reflects confusion. But those who surrender move differently. They still act, but they do so with openness rather than fear. They still pursue, but they do so with trust rather than panic. This vibration is coherent, and the universe responds with clarity. The paradox is that the less you grasp, the more synchronicity flows. When you no longer demand proof at every moment, you receive it more often. When you stop obsessing over the signs multiply. This is not because the universe is playing games, but because your state has shifted. Synchronicity is the echo of alignment, and alignment thrives in serenity. Stillness sharpens this even more. In stillness, you realize that the signals have always been there. You simply did not notice because you were too busy chasing. When you pause, when you breathe, when you silence the noise, the patterns stand out as though they were always obvious. Numbers repeat, timing aligns, words echo with meaning. The field has not changed, you have. Stillness is not emptiness but presence, and in presence, the universe becomes audible. This is why meditation, reflection, or simply moments of silence are gateways to synchronicity. They do not summon the signals, they reveal them. They strip away the interference so that the conversation can come through clearly. Even a few moments of conscious stillness can open the channel. It is like fine-tuning a radio. You move from static to clarity with a single adjustment. Gratitude amplifies this process. When you notice synchronicity and respond with gratitude rather than doubt, you strengthen the dialogue. Gratitude tells the universe, I see the signal, I value the guidance. And just as anyone speaks more openly when they feel heard, the universe responds by amplifying the conversation. Gratitude is not just an attitude. It is an energetic amplifier that increases the frequency of synchronicity in your life. This is why the most profound synchronicities often feel infused with peace. They do not arrive with chaos but with calm certainty. They land softly, yet they carry weight. A number sequence repeats in a way that feels gentle but undeniable. A message appears that feels like it was written just for you. A chance encounter feels natural but carries life-changing meaning. The power is not in the drama but in the resonance. Serenity allows you to feel that resonance deeply. When you cultivate serenity, you also protect yourself from misinterpretation. In desperation, you may try to twist every event into a sign. You may see meaning where there is none because you are forcing the connection. But in calm awareness, you discern more clearly. You recognize the signals that truly resonate and let go of the ones that do not. The language of synchronicity becomes cleaner, sharper, and more trustworthy. This shift also transforms your relationship with time. When you are restless, you want everything now. You demand instant answers, instant proof, instant results. But when you are serene, you trust timing. You understand that the silence between synchronicities is not absence but alignment. The universe is always organizing behind the scenes, and sometimes the pause is part of the process. Serenity helps you wait without fear, knowing the next signal will arrive when it is meant to. Over time, this calm state becomes your default. You no longer chase signs desperately. You live as though the signs are inevitable. You no longer panic when signals seem quiet. You trust that the conversation continues. This steadiness allows synchronicity to flow more consistently. The field reflects your coherence, and life becomes a continuous dialogue rather than a series of random sparks. In this way, serenity becomes not only the amplifier of synchronicity, but also the proof of mastery. Anyone can notice a sign when it is obvious. But those who remain calm in uncertainty, those who surrender to the flow, those who cultivate stillness in the storm, they are the ones who hear the universe clearly. They are the ones who live in continuous alignment. If you are here now, it means that you are ready to deepen this practice. It means the universe is reminding you that stillness is not weakness but power. It is not passivity but receptivity. Serenity is the gateway through which synchronicity flows most clearly. And the fact that you are hearing this now is itself a signal, a reminder from the universe to rest in trust, to allow the dialogue to receive the guidance waiting for you. Synchronicity is the compass of your new identity. At the deepest level, every shift in your life begins with a change in identity. Who you believe yourself to be creates the boundaries of what you allow, what you expect, and what you notice. Your identity is not fixed. It evolves with every thought you hold, every action you take, every belief you embody. And as it evolves, the universe reflects that change back through synchronicity. This is why signs multiply during times of transformation. They are not random events. They are feedback, mirrors of your emerging self. At first, stepping into a new identity feels fragile. You sense a pull toward becoming more, but the old patterns resist. Doubts rise, the nervous system craves the familiar, and the old self does not want to let go. In this delicate stage, synchronicity often acts like a stabilizing force. A repeated number reassures you. A phrase appears at the right moment. A chance encounter reflects your new direction. Each signal anchors you in the vibration of the identity you are becoming. Without those signals, it would be easy to collapse back into the past. But synchronicity holds you steady until the new self takes root. Identity rewiring is not just psychological, it is energetic. Your thoughts create neural pathways. Your emotions create chemistry. Your state creates electromagnetic signals. When you begin to embody a new version of yourself, those signals change. The field responds instantly, reflecting the shift through synchronicities. The outer world reorganizes to mirror the inner reprogramming. At first, it feels like flickers, small sparks of confirmation. But as the identity stabilizes, the signals grow consistent, reliable, and precise. This is the stage where synchronicity stops feeling like magic and begins to feel like a compass. You no longer doubt whether the signals are real. You begin to trust them as a guide. They point the way when the rational mind is unsure. They confirm your path when fear whispers doubts. They act as directional markers, not showing you the entire map but giving you enough to know the next step. Like a compass, synchronicity does not reveal every detail, but it never fails to point you toward alignment. When you live this way, decision-making transforms. Instead of overthinking endlessly, you notice the resonance. One path feels heavy, the other feels alive. One option is confirmed by repeating signs, the other is met with silence. You do not abandon logic, but you marry it with intuition, guided by synchronicity. This partnership between inner knowing and outer confirmation gives you confidence to act. Even when you do not see the outcome, you trust the compass. The compass of synchronicity only stabilizes when identity rewiring takes hold. If you are still wavering between old and new, the signals feel fragile. One moment they appear, the next they fade. But as you repeatedly choose the new self, as you embody it through thought, feeling, and action, the signals become constant. This is because the universe mirrors coherence. Once your identity is coherent, the field responds with clarity. You can see this reflected in the people around you. Those who remain stuck in old identities rarely notice synchronicities. They live by habit, repeating the same beliefs, and the universe mirrors back the same patterns. But those who reinvent themselves, who step into larger versions of who they are, notice signs everywhere. The universe floods them with feedback, guiding them into alignment with their new state. What changed was not the universe, but the identity they carried into it. The most profound synchronicities often arrive when you embody your new identity fully for the first time. It is as though the field celebrates the milestone by surrounding you with undeniable confirmation. You may hear a phrase repeated by multiple strangers, see numbers glowing everywhere, or encounter opportunities that feel impossibly aligned. These signals are not coincidence. They are the universe acknowledging your rebirth. They are the compass showing that the new identity is real, alive, and anchored. Living this way also means releasing the need to cling to the old. You cannot hold on to who you were and step fully into who you are becoming. If you try to straddle both, the compass falters. The signals distort. But when you let go of the past self and embody the new one with trust, synchronicity aligns sharply. This surrender allows the universe to mirror your true state without interference. The compass also guides you through uncertainty. When the path ahead is unclear, you may feel lost. But the signals appear to reassure you. A word repeats, a number sequence flashes, an encounter brings the exact reminder you needed. You realize you are not lost at all. You are simply being guided step by step. The compass does not remove uncertainty, but it makes uncertainty livable. You walk with trust, knowing the signs will appear as needed. The more you honor the compass, the stronger it becomes. When you notice synchronicity and respond with gratitude, the dialogue deepens. When you follow the signals with faith, the universe responds with more clarity. The relationship strengthens with every acknowledgement. Over time, the compass becomes second nature. You no longer ask if you are aligned, you feel it. You no longer doubt whether the signals are real, you live by them. Identity rewiring is not a one-time event. You will evolve again and again, stepping into larger versions of yourself as you grow. Each time, the compass recalibrates. New signals appear, new synchronicities guide you, new confirmations arrive. The journey never ends. But with each transformation, your trust in the compass deepens. You know by experience that the universe always responds. You know by proof that synchronicity never fails. At the highest level, you begin to see that synchronicity is not outside of you. It is not the universe speaking to you from afar. It is the universe speaking as you, through you, with you. The compass is not separate. It is your own resonance reflected back. When you realize this, you stop chasing signs and begin living as the sign. Your presence itself becomes synchronistic for others. You become the mirror, the guide, the signal. This is mastery, to live as though nothing is random. To walk with the confidence that every event, every encounter, every signal is aligned. To trust that your identity and the universe are not in conflict but in harmony. To know that the compass of synchronicity is not fragile but eternal. This is where the journey is leading you. Not to rare miracles, but to a constant state of dialogue with reality. So if you are noticing the signals more than ever, if the compass feels sharper than before, understand what that means. It means your identity has shifted. It means the rewiring is real. It means you are no longer who you were, you are becoming who you were meant to be. And the universe is confirming it, step by step, sign by sign. You did not stumble here by chance. You broadcasted this state, and the compass responded. That is the secret, and that is the truth of who you are becoming. Universal numbers and archetypal signs explained. Across every culture, every era, and every tradition, people have spoken about signs. They may use different language, but the essence is the same. There are moments when reality seems to lean in closer, when symbols appear that feel larger than life, when numbers or images repeat with such precision that you cannot dismiss them. These are archetypal synchronicities, universal signals that transcend personal meaning and speak to the deeper structure of reality itself. One of the most common examples is repeating numbers. You glance at the clock and it is 11:11. You buy something and the total is 22.22. You wake in the middle of the night and see 333 glowing back at you. These moments feel charged because they are charged. Numbers are the purest symbols, recognized by every human mind across every culture. They bypass language and speak directly to the subconscious. When they repeat with precision, they resonate as confirmation that the universe is aligning with your frequency. Different numbers often carry distinct resonances. 111 feels like a signal of initiation, the call to step into a new beginning. 222 reflects balance and partnership, reminding you that patience and harmony are part of your journey. 333 vibrates with creativity, expression, and expansion, as though the universe is reminding you to share your gifts. 777 carries the resonance of divine timing and breakthrough, a sign that you are on the threshold of alignment so precise that the field itself is reorganizing around you. These interpretations are not rigid rules, but archetypal meanings that have echoed across traditions for centuries. Numbers are not the only signals. Animals often appear as synchronicities. A butterfly drifting across your path during a time of transformation. An eagle soaring overhead when you are seeking perspective. A fox appearing when adaptability is needed. These are not random encounters but archetypal symbols, patterns that humanity has recognized for millennia. They are part of the collective unconscious, resonances that stir something deeper than logic. Clocks and timing also play a major role. How often have you noticed a moment of perfect timing, where someone calls just as you think of them, or an opportunity arrives at the exact moment you were about to give up? These alignments reveal that time itself is not fixed and mechanical but fluid and responsive. When you are aligned, you step into what ancient traditions called sacred time, moments where the veil between inner and outer dissolves and everything feels orchestrated. These universal signs are powerful not only because they are meaningful to you personally, but because they are meaningful across humanity. They are part of the deeper structure of the field, the archetypes embedded in consciousness itself. Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious, the layer of mind that connects all of us. Synchronicities often emerge from this collective layer, which is why so many people across the world report seeing the same signals during times of transformation. The threshold of breakthrough is often marked by a flood of these archetypal synchronicities. Just before you cross into a new phase of life, the signals multiply. Numbers repeat more frequently. Symbols appear with precision. Timing becomes uncanny. It is as though the universe amplifies the language to make sure you know you are on the edge of something significant. This is not imagination. It is resonance. The closer you are to breakthrough, the louder the conversation becomes. It is important to understand that these signals are not separate from you. They are mirrors of your own broadcast, reflections of your own resonance, but they use archetypal language so that you cannot miss them. Numbers, animals, clocks, patterns, these are the universal alphabet of synchronicity, symbols that speak directly to the soul. You may not always know the full meaning, but you will feel the resonance. That feeling is the message. Skeptics will argue that noticing repeating numbers or symbols is nothing more than pattern seeking, that the mind creates meaning where none exists, but the timing reveals otherwise. You do not see these signals constantly. You see them when you are asking, when you are shifting, when you are on the edge of transformation. Their precision is their proof. The odds of seeing the same number sequence or encountering the same symbol multiple times in moments of significance are astronomical. Yet they occur with ease. That is the signature of synchronicity. When you begin to trust these signals, your relationship with reality changes. You stop asking if you are on the right path and start noticing how often the universe confirms that you are. You stop doubting whether your intentions matter and begin seeing how the field responds to them in real time. The dialogue becomes so consistent that ignoring it feels impossible. You realize that life is not random, it is intelligent, responsive, and alive. This does not mean that every repeated number or animal is a grand cosmic message. Discernment is essential. The difference between coincidence and synchronicity lies in resonance. When the signal strikes you deeply, when it carries a sense of perfect timing, when it feels like it was meant for you, that is synchronicity. The resonance itself is the confirmation. Trust the feeling more than the form. As you evolve, you may notice that the signals themselves evolve too. At first, numbers may dominate. Later, symbols or encounters may carry more weight. Eventually, entire sequences of events align so precisely that your life feels like a tapestry woven with meaning. The universe uses whatever symbols you are most attuned to, expanding the conversation as your awareness expands. The more fluent you become, the richer the dialogue grows. These universal signs also remind you that you are not walking alone. When you see the same symbols echoed across your journey, you feel connected not only to the universe but to others walking the same path. Countless people see 1111 at moments of awakening. Countless people encounter synchronicities just before breakthrough. This shared language dissolves the illusion of isolation. You realize you are part of something larger, a collective awakening unfolding through millions of lives. At the deepest level, these signals reveal that reality is not mechanical but holographic. Each part reflects the whole. Each symbol carries the resonance of the entire field. When you see a number or a pattern, you are not just seeing digits or coincidences, you are glimpsing the structure of consciousness itself. You are seeing proof that everything is connected, that nothing is random, that life is intelligent at its core. So when you encounter repeating numbers, when symbols appear with uncanny timing, when synchronicities flood your experience, do not dismiss them. Recognize them for what they are, archetypal signals of alignment, universal markers that you are at the threshold of breakthrough. They are the universe's way of saying yes, keep going, you are stepping into the next chapter of your life. You did not find this by accident, and you are not seeing the signals by accident. They are the reflection of your readiness, confirmation that the shift is real. The invitation is to trust them. Trust that the universe is speaking to you in the language of archetypes, trust that resonance is proof, and trust that you are guided. The more you honor these signals, the more fluent you become in the secret language of synchronicity. And the more fluent you become, the more your life transforms from a series of random events into a sacred dialogue with the universe itself. Living fully in the flow of synchronicity. When you begin to notice synchronicity, it feels extraordinary. At first, you question it, testing whether it is real. Then you recognize the patterns, you see the timing, and you admit there is no way this is random. Over time, the extraordinary becomes ordinary, not because it has lost its power, but because it has become your natural state. What once felt like a miracle becomes the rhythm of your daily life. You are no longer waiting for synchronicity to surprise you. You are living inside the dialogue continuously. Living this way changes everything. You no longer see yourself as separate from the universe, stumbling through chaos, hoping for occasional moments of luck. You recognize that you are part of an intelligent field that responds to your resonance at all times. You move with trust instead of doubt. You act with clarity instead of hesitation. You live with the awareness that every thought, every feeling, every choice is part of a larger conversation unfolding in real time. This awareness transforms the way you meet challenges. Struggles do not disappear, but they no longer feel meaningless. You know that even the hardest moments carry synchronicities if you are willing to look. A closed door is not rejection but redirection. A delay is not absence but preparation. Even pain becomes a messenger, pointing you to what must be healed or released. Life does not stop being difficult, but it stops being random. Everything becomes meaningful, and that meaning carries strength. As you live in synchronicity, your sense of loneliness dissolves. You feel accompanied by something larger than yourself. The signs remind you daily that you are seen, heard, and guided. Even when no human seems to understand your journey, the universe reflects it back through signals. You feel less isolated because you know you are never truly alone. The dialogue between you and the cosmos is constant, and that companionship is one of the most profound gifts of awakening. This way of living also brings a quiet confidence. You no longer demand instant answers because you trust the timing. You no longer panic in silence because you know the signals always return. You no longer chase signs because you know they will appear when needed. You move with steadiness, guided by the compass of synchronicity. Others may wonder why you seem so calm in uncertainty, but you know the secret. You have evidence that reality always responds. In this state, creativity flows more freely. Ideas arrive through synchronicities. An overheard phrase sparks a project. A book falls into your hands at the perfect moment. A dream connects with an opportunity that appears the next day. You realize that creativity is not only inside you but flows through you from the larger field. You are no longer generating alone. You are collaborating with the universe itself. This makes your work richer, deeper, more aligned with who you truly are. Relationships transform as well. You begin to see the people who enter your life as synchronistic messengers. Some arrive briefly to teach a lesson, others stay longer to walk beside you, but all carry meaning. Even chance encounters are recognized as part of the dialogue. You stop clinging out of fear or pushing people away out of judgment. Instead, you honor the timing of each connection. You see every relationship as part of the conversation, each one woven into the tapestry of synchronicity. The more you embody this state, the more you realize that you too become a signal. Your presence radiates alignment and others notice. You may not even try, but people feel guided simply by being near you. Your coherence becomes contagious. You become a synchronicity in the lives of others, a reminder that reality is alive with meaning. This ripple effect is not about preaching or persuading. It happens naturally because the state you live in radiates outward. Another gift of living fully in synchronicity is wonder. Even after years of noticing signs, the awe never disappears. Each new alignment still feels magical, not because it is rare, but because it is beautiful. You walk through life with the eyes of a child, curious, open, receptive. You do not need to control everything because you enjoy the surprises. You live as though the universe is your partner in adventure, always ready to astonish you with its timing. This sense of wonder makes life richer, deeper, more vibrant than it has ever been. Eventually, you reach the realization that synchronicity is not something that comes and goes. It is not the exception, it is the rule. It was always present, but you were not tuned to notice. Now that you are tuned, you see that every moment carries meaning. Some signals are subtle, others loud, but all are part of the dialogue. You no longer divide life into sacred moments and ordinary moments. You recognize that all of it is sacred, all of it is alive with guidance. At the highest level, you begin to embody the truth that you and the universe are not separate. The signals you see are not external messages sent from a distant intelligence. They are reflections of your own resonance, woven into the fabric of reality. When you align with gratitude, the universe mirrors gratitude. When you embody courage, the universe mirrors courage. When you live with openness, the universe floods you with signals. You are not simply receiving synchronicity, you are creating it through who you are. This is the deepest secret of all. You are not just in conversation with the universe. You are the conversation. You are both the sender and the receiver, the signal and the reflection. The more you embody this, the less you need external confirmation because you live as confirmation. Your life itself becomes synchronistic, a walking dialogue with the infinite. So here you are, at the end of this message, and yet also at the beginning of something much larger. You did not find this by accident. You were guided here because you are ready to live in alignment with the language of the universe. You are ready to see the signals not as rare but as constant. You are ready to walk as though nothing is random because nothing is. This is the invitation the universe has placed in front of you. The choice is yours. You can return to the old way of seeing, dismissing synchronicities as coincidence, convincing yourself that life is meaningless and random. Or you can embrace the dialogue, listen to the signals, and live in alignment with the truth that the universe is always speaking. One path leads back to sleepwalking. The other leads into a life of connection, meaning, and co-creation. You did not arrive here by accident. The universe chose this moment for you. And now it is your turn to choose. Will you walk in alignment? Will you honor the signals? Will you live fully in the flow of synchronicity? If you do, everything changes. Not because life becomes perfect, but because life becomes alive. Every moment becomes meaningful. Every step becomes guided. Every breath becomes part of the dialogue. That is the power of synchronicity. That is the secret language of the universe. And it is waiting for you to live it fully.